if A, B, C are all non-zero, okay, and um, A plus B plus C is equal to 0. So two things are given to us, that they A, B, C are all non-zero and A plus B plus C is equal to 0. Then prove that, I hope you're writing the question simultaneously. Prove that A square by BC plus B square by CA plus C square by AB is equal to 3. So how do you suggest we do this? Hmm? Does anything come to mind when you see A square, BC? Anyone? Any ideas? Do you remember any identities? Okay. Um. Okay. Miraj, can you tell me what is A plus B whole square? Miraj, Mridula.
Ma'am, a square plus b square plus 2ab.
Hmm. But over here in our question, we have three terms. We have A, B, and C. We have A square, B square, C square also, and we have the AB, AC, and BC also. So what do you think we need to use here?
Ma'am, a plus b plus c whole square.
Yes, that's right. A plus B plus C whole square. Okay, so Ridula, do you remember what this was? A plus B plus C whole square? Hmm. Come on.
Ma'am, a square plus b square plus c square
Yes.
is equal to 2ab.
Plus.
Plus 2ab
Hmm.
plus 2bc
Hmm.
plus 2ca.
Plus 2CA. Right. So can we apply this identity over here? See, we can see this thing, right? A plus B plus C is equal to 0. So let's start from there. So can someone tell me if A plus B plus C is equal to 0, because this is given in the question, right? That's given in our question. Then what can my next step be? Look at
Ma'am,
our identity and tell me. Yes.
ma'am, a square. Ma'am, if we write instead of a plus b plus c, yeah,
Hmm.
instead of like a square plus b square plus c square. So when
Hmm.
we sum them, it will be also be 0.
No. See,
Hmm?
A plus B plus C is 0. So one thing I can say for sure is that, okay, how about, Mridula, how about um we square this equation? Let's call this equation 1, shall we? And we say squaring both sides on equation 1. Okay, squaring both sides on equation 1. So if we square both sides, what will we get?
Ma'am, a square plus b square
No, no,
plus
no,
c
no.
square.
Don't
Ma'am,
expand it right now. See, Mridula, you're almost on the right track, but let's not skip a step. Right now, let's just square both sides without expanding the bracket, okay? Hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, A plus B plus C whole square.
Hmm. Very good. Yes, yes. Then is equal to
Ma'am, is equal to A 0
is equal to
plus.
zero square, right? Is
Yes,
equal to
ma'am.
zero square. Why? Because we are squaring equation 1, right?
Yes,
Got it?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Pakka?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Miraj, you can also intervene, You don't have to be quiet. Okay. So, all right. So, if we are squaring this, now, Mridula, can you, okay, instead of zero square, can I just make my life easier and just write zero instead of zero square?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, now, take a look at this a plus b plus c whole square and take a look at this. And now, can you tell me what should I write?
Um, Ma'am, 0.
Okay, Mridula, see, a plus b plus c whole square, right? Can I expand this?
Yes, ma'am.
How can I expand this?
Ma'am, A square plus B square plus
Yes.
C square plus
Hmm.
2AB plus 2BC plus 2CA.
Okay. Can I take two common from here? Can I take two common?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's do that. Now, what should I write on the RHS?
Ma'am, 0
Yeah, it is
square.
zero. Yeah, so that is zero itself, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because the RHS was zero square, so that is zero itself. If you guys want, you can take a few seconds to copy this down and let me know when you're done, so we can move forward.
I'm done.
Okay. So let's move forward. So now, what can be done? Can we divide the whole thing with, or what can we do? What can we do here? Any ideas? Hmm? Okay. How about how about this? So you know what? Um, when you're trying to solve such a question and the teacher is solving ahead of you, you might be thinking, well, how do we know that we have to divide it by this? How do we know that we have to do this step? So how you know that is when you take a look at the question. What is the question asking me to do? So over here, I can see that the question is asking me to get my equation, to get my expression into this form. It should be like, there should be something in the denominator and it should somehow be something that's common to all three of them. So that's how I will think, okay, if I need to reach this point, what journey should I take to reach that point? So that's how, this is something that comes with practice. So let's take this thing, this term, to the right hand side. Okay, why are we taking it to the right hand side? Well, because we can see that on the left hand side in the numerator we have, a square plus b square plus c square. Okay, is that fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's take it to the right hand side. So that, what does it become now, Mridula?
Ma'am, A square plus B square plus C square
Hmm.
is equal to
Hmm.
1 upon 2.
No, minus 2. Why? Because over here this term is plus 2 bracket, right? Plus 2 and the bracket. So when it goes to the other side, it becomes minus 2 bracket because it's in plus, so it becomes minus. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Or in the or another way that you can say it is that you are subtracting both sides of the equation with minus 2ab plus bc plus ca. So when we subtract the LHS, then this plus 2 and that minus 2 gets cancelled. That's why we don't have any such term in the LHS. But on the RHS, we have minus 2 times that bracket. So now what can we do? Any ideas? Let's do one thing. Let's divide the whole equation by ABC. Okay, let's divide it. So you divide it and tell me what will we come up with? Like what will we have? Divide the whole thing by ABC. Or maybe not ABC. Hmm. Yeah, okay, let's divide it by ABC. So I'm just doing trial and error and seeing what works, okay? Or maybe I think we shouldn't use this one. You know why? I'll tell you. See, when we divide the whole thing by ABC, what happens is, or let me make it like this. So over here, this A and this A gets cancelled, this B and this B gets cancelled, this C and this C get cancelled. Over here, this thing, and this thing. Okay, so we are basically left with, or let me just write it over here. We are left with A by BC plus B by AC plus C by AC is equal to minus 2 times 1 by A plus 1 by B plus 1 by C. Okay. What we can do now is, I don't think we're going to get the answer from this method because maybe we should have taken the A plus B plus C whole cube. Does anyone remember the identity for that? A plus B plus C whole cube? Okay, I don't think we did that. We didn't study this one, right? Mridula, do you remember?
No, I think we have not studied this one identity.
You okay, we have not studied this one. Okay. No problem. Let's try solving it through this somehow. Uh okay. Now let's try to take the LCM on the RHS, okay? So I'm taking the LCM over here. So this becomes, I take ABC. This becomes BC plus, well, it's the same thing. We're not gonna get anywhere with that. One sec. Okay, so let's put this on pause. Let's put this on a halt and we'll come back to this later, okay? We'll try to figure out the way. Because I we need to think about what exactly is the identity that we are using. So that will also, yeah. Okay, let's take a look at next question. Just a minute. Okay, So, hmm. So put that question on pause. If you want, you can try it by yourself. That would be very much appreciated. Let's see if you can get the answer by trial and error method. So if the polynomials, this is another question. Um, az cube plus 4z square plus 3z minus 4, and so this is one polynomial, okay, and the other polynomial is z cube minus 4z plus a. If these polynomials leave the same remainder, when divided by z minus 3, find the value of a. Okay, so take a moment to understand the question.
Ma'am, in this question, first we divide the given equations by z minus 3.
Okay, so you're gonna do the long division method?
Ma'am, we can do the long division method as well as factor
Exactly. The what?
factor theorem.
Factor theorem. Yes, that is gonna be an easier way, right? So, Mridula, can you tell us how the factor theorem will help us here?
Ma'am, instead of taking as z, we will take z minus 3.
Okay. So first we can take, this is our polynomial p of z, right? P of z, and this is z minus 3. So my p of z, and when this is divided by z minus 3, the remainder is coming out to be, they are saying the remainder is equal to the same thing, which is the remainder when this is divided by z minus 3. So let's say that the remainder, so one thing that we know by the factor theorem is that the remainder will be p of, who's going to tell me?
Ma'am, p of z minus 3.
P of 3, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You remember? Whatever
Yes,
we
ma'am.
had over here. So P of 3, that will be the remainder. So the remainder will be P of 3. Okay. That is one thing which is noted. Now the other thing will come to that. So let's call this one the second polynomial Q of Z. Okay. Q of Z, because it's a different polynomial. That's why Q. So Q of Z is Z cube minus 4Z plus A. And oh, I'm sorry. I should not write it like this, because then that would mean this is my P of Z, this is my Q of Z. Okay. Now I'm dividing this thing by Z minus 3. Then the remainder is going to be
Ma'am, 3. Ma'am, p of 3.
Q of 3. है ना?
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
we're dividing it with, this is Q of Z, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you sure that's clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is my second equation. And now what they're saying is, they're saying that this remainder that we are getting in the first division is the same as the remainder that we are getting in the second division. So these two remainders are the same. So can I say that P of 3 is equal to Q of 3?
Yes,
Hmm?
ma'am.
So now let's, all we have to do is just put 3 in place of z in each of these polynomials. Okay, let me write it here. Replace z with 3 in each of the polynomials. Okay, and then equate them. So let's do it together. Mridula, can you dictate and I'll write it?
Ma'am, in the first equation, ma'am,
Hmm.
P of 3 is equal to
Hmm. Yes.
A3, ma'am, A3 is Q,
Hmm.
A3 Q plus 4 3 square
Hmm.
plus 3 multiplied by 3
Hmm.
minus 4.
Okay. And Q3 is?
Ma'am, 3 whole 3 cube
Hmm.
minus 4 multiplied by 3 plus
Hmm.
A.
Okay. So let me let me just let me just do this. So what is the first one equal to? P3.
Ma'am,
Let's solve it further. Hmm.
3 cube is 27,
Hmm.
27A
Hmm.
plus, ma'am, plus 36
Hmm.
plus 9
Hmm.
minus 4.
Okay. And then what is this equal to? Plus 41. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is 9. I'm sorry, not 9, 27. The Q3 is 27 minus 12 plus A. And what is that? 15 plus A. Is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now all we have to do is equate these two. So I'm going to do that. 27A, because we have P3 is equal to Q3, right? Let it go. P3 is equal to Q3. So we have 27A plus 41 is equal to 15 plus A. Then my A goes to the other side, becomes 26A um, is equal to 15 minus 41. Are we doing it correctly? Is this right? If I'm wrong, please point it out because there might be some calculation mistakes. Mridula,
Yes, ma'am.
done?
Ma'am, I'm solving it.
Oh, sure, sure. Take your time.
Yes, ma'am. I have solved. Ma'am, done.
Okay. All right. Hamna, if you want, you can take a screenshot or you can just note down the question and then we'll move forward. Hamna, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So just let me know when you want me to move forward, okay?
Done, ma'am.
Okay. So, just a minute. um, so let's do some more questions on. Okay, which chapter do you want to do more questions on? Number systems, polynomials, linear equations, or coordinate geometry? You guys tell me, and I'll give you some questions.
Ma'am, linear question into variable.
Le- Linear equations in two variables. Okay, Hamna, what about you? Hamna, do you have any preferences? No. So thing about the linear equations chapter is that a lot of the work will be done on graph sheets, and the thing is I can't see your graph sheets. You know, that is one of the problems. But yeah, we'll do a few questions from there since you guys have asked. Okay. So write down this question, or let me just I'll write it down. So the question is, find the solution of the linear equation. Find the solution of the linear equation. Uh, X plus 2y is equal to 8, which represents a point on the x-axis. So what does this question mean? Can someone explain it to me?
Ma'am, we have to find the solution of the linear equation which is given.
Hmm. What does this part mean? Which represents a point on the x-axis?
Ma'am, the coordinates of x-axis.
Try to explain it in a more like in a different way. See, so
Ma'am,
Mithila,
ma'am, the value of x.
right, right. So see, this equation has how many solutions does this equation have? Can someone tell me?
Ma'am, infinite.
Yes, infinitely many solutions. But right now, they want the solution which represents a point on the x-axis. What does that mean? That this solution, like so, whatever this line is going to be, let's say it looks like this. Okay, so whatever this line is going to be, the point which represents, so all of the points that lie on this line, all of the points that lie on this line are solutions of this equation, right? Solutions of the equation. So they want one specific solution. Which one do they want? They want the solution which lies on the x-axis. So the thing about lying on the x-axis, as we previously discussed, is that its coordinates will be, yes,
Ma'am, x and y.
x comma 0, right? Because it's on
Yes,
the
ma'am.
x-axis. So the y coordinate will be 0. So one thing that we know is the y coordinate will be 0. So can we in this equation put the y coordinate as 0 to find out what x will be? Let's do it.
Ma'am, X will be 8.
Yes, x will be 8, right? Because when you put y as 0, it will be x plus 0 is equal to 8, and that means x is equal to 8. So the solution, they have asked you to find the solution, right? So the solution that we are looking for in this question is 8 comma 0. Okay, and we know that 8 comma 0 lies on the x-axis. So, okay, how about do this one? Find the solution of the same linear equation which represents a point on the y-axis. Hmm.
Ma'am, 0, 4.
Ma'am, 4.
Yes. Yes. Right. 0 comma 4. Okay. So this one is going to be 0 comma 4. All right. Do you guys have some questions that you want to discuss? Okay, let's do this one. Determine the point. I'm going to write it on the graph of the linear equation. 2x, okay, one sec. 2x plus 5y is equal to 19. I don't know why I have a feeling that we've already done this. I don't know. Whose ordinate is 1.5 times its abscissa. First of all, what is ordinate? What is ordinate? What is abscissa?
Ma'am, ordinate is y-axis and abscissa is x-axis.
Not x-axis, x-coordinate, right? See, the difference between the axis and coordinate is axis is a whole line, right? Axis is a whole line. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. Axis is a whole line. But coordinate is a point. When you have two coordinates together, a pair of coordinates, this is called an ordered pair, by the way, if you want to know. So when we have an ordered pair of something and something, ordered pair of coordinates, this is a point. So there's a huge difference. Axis is a line and coordinates are points. So anyway, yeah, you're right. So abscissa, x coordinate, ordinate is the y coordinate. Okay. So how can we do this? Would someone like to dictate the answer so that I can write it down?
Ma'am, first we will find the value of x and y.
How will we do that?
Ma'am, let the x be 0.
Okay. So okay, fine. Let's do what you are saying. Let x be 0, then
Ma'am, the equation will be 2, ma'am, 0 plus 5y plus 19 is equal
is
to
equal to
19.
9. Then
Ma'am, 0 plus 5y is equal to 19, and
okay.
5 goes to RHS side, and y is equal to 19 by 5.
Okay, then Yes.
Ma'am, we will multiply it by 1.5.
Okay. So what you have found here, Mridula, is you have found one solution. That one solution is 0, comma 19 by 5. Okay. But we want a point whose, so there are going to be a lot of points, right? Let's say the line is like this. A point whose, okay, so the point that you have found is this one, 0, comma 19 by 5. We want a point whose ordinate is 1.5 times its abscissa. So can we write this in the form of an equation? This sentence. Can someone tell me what will it look like in mathematical language? This sentence. Hmm. Come on. Hamna, Mridula, anyone? How can we write this, the highlighted part, in mathematical language? How can I convert that into an equation?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, x is equal to x multiplied by 1.5x.
One sec. Can you repeat it again?
Ma'am, x is equal to one and a
Hmm.
half x.
That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you take a look at this equation and tell me if you think there is something wrong with this? Okay, can anyone tell me something that's wrong with this equation?
Ma'am, it is not in the form of ax plus b.
No, that is fine. It doesn't have to be like that. But what's wrong with this equation? X is equal to 1.5x. Okay, Mridula, can I say 2 is equal to 0? Is it true or false? Hello?
False.
False, right. So it is false. Um, can I say 1 is equal to 1.5?
Ma'am, false.
False, right? They're not equal. So what you are doing, like what this equation tells me, it tells me that, well, if I divide both the sides of the equation by x, then this becomes x by x is equal to 1.5 x by x, right? Because I'm dividing throughout by x. So this thing becomes 1, right? This thing gets cancelled, becomes 1. So I am left with 1 is equal to 1.5. Are you seeing where the mistake is here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you were almost right. Now just there's just one change that needs to happen in this equation. You need to replace one of the x's with y. With y. Which one? Which one do we need to replace with y? This one or this one?
Ma'am, first one.
Just a minute. Yeah. It says ordinate is, and now this is one tip that has really helped me throughout my math journey, is that whenever in an equation, so if you see, uh, see, when we are translating from one language to another language, what we do is we translate word by word, right? So let's translate word by word here. Ordinate is 1.5 times abscissa. What is the translation in maths language for ordinate?
Ma'am, y-axis.
Y. Not y-axis, just
Ma'am,
y.
y coordinate.
Y coordinate, yes. So y. What is the translation for abscissa?
X
Ma'am, x
coordinate.
coordinate.
X, right? What is the translation for times? Times.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, multiplied
multiplied.
by.
Multiplied, right? What is the translation for this 1.5?
Ma'am, 1 multiplied.
It is one and a
Ma'am,
half
1.
only,
Ma'am,
right?
1.5 multiplied by.
Huh. Hmm. So 1.5, see 1.5, this is a mixed fraction. This is a mixed fraction, right? We can write this in two forms. You can either write this as an improper fraction, something divided by something, or you can write this as a decimal. What will it be in the improper fraction form? Hmm? Come on, this is basic fifth grade math, guys. 1.5. How do we convert a mixed fraction to an improper fraction? You guys remember? Forgot. Okay, let's do this together. So 1.5. What we do is we say this multiplied by this plus this. So we say 2
3
into
by
2.
2.
Sorry. Yes, thank you, Miraj.
No problem.
Okay, so 2 into 1, which is 2. Then plus 1 is 3. So this is 3 by 2. Guys, please don't forget these basic math skills, okay? All right, so this is 3 by 2 in the mixed fraction form. And how can we write this in decimal form? 1.5. What is 1.5? 1.5 means 1.
Ma'am, 1.5.
Yes, exactly. 1.5 of something. Okay, 1.5 of something. Okay, so that is 1.5. So you can choose any form that you want, any form that you're comfortable with. Some people are more comfortable with decimals, some are more comfortable with fractions. So it's your wish, however you want to translate it. So I will translate it as 3 by 2. Okay. What is the translation for is?
Ma'am is equal to.
Yes, is equal to. Okay, always remember this. It will be very useful even ahead. So this is means is equal to. So there it is. We have the whole English sentence that is translated into math. Y is equal to 3 by 2x. There you go. Now all we need to do. So what is the question telling us? The question is telling us that, well, you have your, this is your linear equation, fine, but we need a point which satisfies this equation. So how about, so we basically, what this means is your point is going to be like this. The y coordinate of that point is going to be 3 by 2 times x. So we know that that point is going to satisfy this also and this also. Basically, what that means is that point is going to follow the rules of this also and this also. So can we say that y is equal to 3 by 2x? I'm going to replace it over here. Can I replace this y by 3 by 2x? Because it's the same thing. This y is equal to 3 by 2x. So all I'm doing is I'm saying 2x plus 5 y, and my y is nothing but 3 by 2x. So I'm going to put multiplied by, okay, 3 by 2x. And then the rest of the equation continues as it is over here. Okay, is equal to 90. So would you like to solve further? I'm sorry, I was getting impatient, so I solved it myself. But please, you don't copy paste it, solve it yourself. So if x is 2, what is y from here? Wait, is this even making any sense to you guys, or is it all just going all above your head? Yes? Any doubts? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oops. Alright, so now tell me, what will y be? If my x is 2, then from this equation, what will y be? We know that y is going to be 3.5 times x. And if x is 2, then y will be 3.5 times
Ma'am,
2.
why? No, two.
Y will be 3.5 times 2, right? Because that is the condition that the question is giving us. That it will be 3.5 times, I'm sorry, 1.5 times. What am I saying? 1.5 times x. So y is 3 by 2 times 2, and by 2 because x is equal to 2. So that gets cancelled, so y is equal to 3. Is it clear? So now the point that we were looking for, they said determine the point. The point turned out to be 2 comma 3. Let me know if you want me to move on, so we'll move on to the next question. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me know. So should we do more questions on linear equations, or do you want some other chapter? If there's anyone who wants some other chapter, you can let me know.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
Ma'am, the graph of the linear equation 4x plus 2y is equal to 12.
Just a minute. So my screen, I think it's not like it got hanged, right? I'm showing a clear page. Are you able to see it? I think not. I'll just stop sharing and share it again. I'm sorry, Hamna. Just give me a minute. Okay. Yes, Hamna.
The graph of the linear equation 4x plus 2y is equal to 12 cuts the y-axis at the point dash.
This is that it,
Yes, ma'am.
Hamna?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So I think we did a similar question. So let's do it like this. Hamna, can you tell me how do you think we can approach this question? Any rough ideas? No? Okay. So the graph of this equation is going to be a straight line, obviously. It's going to look something like this. It's okay if you don't know what it's going to look like. You can also draw something like this or something like whatever. Doesn't matter. Um, so it's going to look like this. Now they are saying it cuts the y-axis at what point? So which one is the y-axis? This is x and this is y, right? So it cuts the y-axis at this point, right? Now we don't know the value of this point. So what we need to do is first we need to ask ourselves, well, what is this point going to look like?
Ma'am, 0 comma y.
0 comma y, because the x coordinate will be 0, because we are not moving at all in the 0 direction, sorry, in the x direction. We are moving 0 units in the x direction and y units in the y direction. Matlab, we are moving some units in the y direction and we have to find that out, how many units that is. So we have to find out the point. So that means at this point, they are asking us this point, right? So at this point, my x is equal to what? Hmm? Look at the point and tell me.
0, ma'am.
0.
0, yes. Yes. Why does it take so long for you guys? Okay. And why we don't know. So can we put x is equal to 0 in this? Why are we putting x is equal to 0 in this? Because this point lies on this line. So it satisfies its equation. So we can safely put x is equal to 0 over here. So now tell me, what can I write, Hamna? Hamna, if I put x is equal to 0 in this equation, anyone else?
Ma'am, 0 plus 2y is equal to 12. Ma'am, y is equal
Then,
to 6.
right. So we have found out the value of y at this point. So what is the point now, Hamna? Can you tell me?
Ma'am, 0 comma 6.
Very good, 0 comma 6. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, the question is if the coordinates of the points are P, that is
Hmm.
minus 2 comma 3, and Q
Hmm.
minus 3 comma 5, then
Hmm.
axis of P minus axis of Q is
Okay. Okay. Hamna, what is abscissa?
ma'am x coordinate.
Yes, x coordinate. Just a minute. Abscissa is x coordinate. So what is the x coordinate of P?
Ma'am,
Hamna,
minus 2.
minus 2. Okay. What is the now? What is abscissa of Q?
Minus 3.
Minus 3. So let me write minus 3 here. So what does this become? Yes,
Minus 1.
minus 2 minus minus 3, which is minus 2 plus 3, which is 1. Is that okay, Hamna?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I think there are other students who are trying to join this meeting, so I'll need to end this class soon. Are there any Are there any other questions, Hamna? I think we can take a few more questions if there are, okay? Because anyway, we started a few minutes late, so we can continue for at least 9:35. Any more questions?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. If there are, then you can ask. So we can, you guys can start a new chapter in the next class. No questions at all? Chalo, okay then. Bye. Good night.
Good night, ma'am. Thank you.
Good night, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank